O meu nome é Ben, isto é Beftastic News. So the first thing I would like to talk about are vertical farms, a concept that arises out of the hanging gardens of Babylon from, some say, 700 BC and only came back into consideration in the last few years. So the question is, what are vertical farms? And no, they are not farms that go up walls, they are farms that are built on layers. The space is spread vertically instead of horizontally. This system is not only more efficient in use of space, but it's said to increase productivity up by 20% while using less water. But with no existing examples, how can one be so sure of all these facts? The system actually changes a lot from the current system. First of all, there's no need for fuel-dependent equipment such as tractors. There's a lot less distance to the seller because vertical farms are designed to exist in cities. The article below has it all more in detail of all the other places where the system cuts corners, as well as other details. Another really nice thing of vertical farming is that it can be put above basically any roof, so you get things like urban farms that you can put over your house. In my opinion, this is a very important step to be taken to not only reduce the CO2 level, but to assure food production in the future. The question I have for you after reading the article is, what do you think of this exciting prospect? Leave creative answers of possible uses below.
This is so much fun. Oh my
The next topic I want to talk about is on Britain's new Deputy Prime Minister. On July 29th, Clegg announced that the policy on the economic stimulus that he defended before the election has been reversed. Whereas before the Liberal Democrats defended that the economic stimulus should stay the same for the next fiscal year, now after consultation with the Bank of England director, they are backing the Tories' plan to slash public spending and thus shrink the deficit as soon as possible. Reports on this topic differ, saying that on one hand, if you cut public spending too soon, it will lead to disaster in the fact that companies still need a cushion until the recession is over. And on the other hand, it is defended by the Bank of England as well that the later the shrinking of the deficit is left, the more painful it will be to achieve this feat. The best thing that one can say about this is that it's nice to see a coalition that is actually working together and making concessions on both parts, but it's still quite risky to have a reverse in policy as many people voted for the Liberal Democrats counting on this. So the question is, what do you think? Is it good to tighten Britain's pockets so soon, or shall one leave it for later? Last thing I'm going to talk about bicycles. Nowadays, there are many bicycle cities in countries like Holland, Germany, France, and cities like Milan, Paris, and Barcelona are coming up to them as well by renting out bicycles. This system has existed for years, but only now is London catching up to it by integrating it in its transport system. London is a bicycle-friendly city, seen as it's very flat, but it never had such a system in place. This bicycle renting system relies on the fact that you can pick up the bike at any station and leave it at any other station of these bicycles. There will be stations at every 400 meters, consisting of 15 bicycles per station, and a cost of around £45 to use it a year. In my opinion, it will be very easy to integrate this system, as there already are many cyclists in London, and it will make it easier for more people to start cycling, as well as people who are only visiting to cycle while they're there. It will be very good to reduce CO2 levels and also as preparation for the Olympics, as tourists will now have at their disposal the fastest way to travel through London. This was proven by Top Gear. Even though there should be a few problems at the start, such as security and experience of the riders and placing of the stations, it should take off quite well and the kinks should be ironed out pretty soon. This system is a very good one to export. How do you think it could integrate in your city or in any other city you love? Leave your comments below. First of all, there's no food. London is a